This video was created by Danny Kessler, Associate Professor and Korea's first PhD in wellness tourism. We typically operate under the assumption that our sensory input provides an objective and complete map of the world. This is our biological consensus, the feeling that what we see and hear is absolute reality. However, treating our perception as an unfiltered truth is a systemic failure of understanding. The human brain does not prioritize objective truth. Instead, it generates a predictive model that is heavily filtered and optimized strictly for survival. Our biological hardware is severely restricted. We are physically blind to massive swaths of data that define our environment. Ambient electromagnetic fields constantly move through us, yet remain completely outside our awareness. We are similarly deaf to environmental microvibrations and seismic shifts. When these frequencies hit our physical auditory limits, the data simply flatlines. These sensory deficits leave us isolated, operating within a vast information vacuum. Because our systems prioritize evolutionary utility over raw data, we remain largely oblivious to the actual architecture of reality. Biologists define this isolated sensory slice as the Umwelt. It is the specific world that any given organism is capable of perceiving based on its biology. A dog maps its complex environment using 300 million olfactory receptors, creating a spatial model defined entirely by scent. Birds perceive ultraviolet spectrums, navigating a visual world that is entirely invisible to humans. This chart shows the Umwelt of a tick. Its entire universe is defined by just 3 specific inputs: temperature, butyric acid, and physical texture. Every biological organism remains trapped inside these hardware parameters. Humans are subject to these same evolutionary restrictions. We attempt to navigate a highly complex modern world while surviving entirely on a severely restricted biological dataset. This audit of our sensory blind spots provides the necessary map of our deficits, which is the baseline requirement for understanding our own health and well-being. Our unique structural advantage is the capacity for cognitive reframing. We can bypass our hardware limits through what we might call instrumental prosthetics. This display shows brain scans from an fMRI, an engineered prosthetic that allows us to visualize internal biological states that were once invisible. The massive scale of this dish structure represents a radio telescope, an extension of our perception that captures cosmic frequencies far beyond our biological reach. These instruments demonstrate our ability to use conceptual curiosity to break the boundaries of our evolutionary blind spots. We possess the processing capacity to actively map our own sensory deficits. Systemic wellness involves deliberate engineering of frameworks that allow us to see beyond our biological limits. Mastering these cognitive shifts allow us to navigate the architecture of a reality our bodies were never designed to perceive. This video was created by Danny Kessler, Associate Professor and Korea's first PhD in wellness tourism.